Today is day 234 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at CODEWARS. Time to find us a brand new CADA to conquer. Newest, most completed. Loading. Thinking about something. Difficulty 6. Fundamentals. Nice. Alright, so most completed, level 6, fundamentals. We are on our way. Yeah, take a 10-minute walk. Eventually we can tackle that one. That is cool. It's down to 27 issues reported. Not bad at all. Fun fact, we've got ourselves potentially a short stream. We're going to try our hardest. We've had some rather lackluster sleep the last, week or two. At least week and a half. Like, last night, 3 hours of sleep, so we're just extra crazy, and due to our schedule, meal times have been off and missing entirely. There was, 14, 12, 13, we'll call it a 13-hour gap with no food. It's been interesting, so we're ready to end the stream as quickly as possible, with doing our best, of course, hopefully. Now, what do we want to tackle? You know what? Doesn't even matter. We already skipped the problem child. Fibonacci sequence. God, that sounds terrible. Let's open this. Maybe unique order. Maybe that's what we'll do. If one looks not fun, maybe we can always give ourselves a skip one. Potentially. Fibonacci sequence. So, what does all this mean? It looks like there's a lot going on here. Well met with Fibonacci, bigger brother, aka Fibonacci. Is it Nocti? Nasi? Nochi. Pretty sure it's Nocti. Topher Gates sleep. Hey, Topher! Sleep is overrated. Yes, you are right, Topher. Sleep is overrated. And on that point, hopefully your night is going well, since clearly you're not sleeping like myself. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. As we may have already revealed, as the name may already reveal, it works basically like a Fibonacci, but summing the last 3 instead of the last 2. Numbers of the sequence to generate the next, and the worst part of it, regrettably, I won't get to hear non-native Italian speakers trying to pronounce it. That's me. That's me. Yes, it's sad. So, if we are to start our Tribonacci? Something? Bad, Steven. Bad. Speak? Tribonacci. Oh, I like the robot version. Can we get a read on that once more? Let's bump up the volume. Thank you, robot voice. Our glorified speak and spell. Tribonacci. Wow, that was loud. Good. Tribonacci, as robot voice pronounces it, which is what we're going to do, since we're clueless. Sequence with 111 as a starting point, aka signature. We have this sequence. Okay, 111. So, instead of 2 numbers and then it equals something, it's a group of 3. And then it equals something. And then it shimmies 1 notch over, but it's those set of 3. 1, 1, and 3 is 5. Then we've got 1, 3 and 5, which is 9, and it kicks over a notch. Okay, cool. I think we can come to terms with that. So, but what if we started with 001 as a signature? As starting with 01 instead of 11 basically shifts the common fibbo something sequence by one place, you may be tempted to think that we would get the same sequence shifted by 2 spaces, but that's not the case. And we would get 001 equals 1. 0, 1, 1 equals 2. Yeah, 1, 1, 2 is 4. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why anyone would expect anything different. Well, you may have guessed it by now, but to be clear, you need to create a Fibonacci. God, that's sad. We really need to work on that. How does Robot Man pronounce it with the F? Wow, it's a completely different pronunciation with the robot voice. It's Fibonacci. It's bad. It's awful. It's a completely different dialect between the T version and the F function that, given a signature array list, returns the first n elements. Yeah, this seems bad. Signatures included of the seed signature. Signature will contain 3 numbers. N will always be a non-negative number. If n is equivalent to 0, then return an empty string and be ready for anything else which is not clearly specified. Wink. Storm's coming. He's letting us know ahead of time. Good on them. If you enjoyed this CADA, more advanced and generalized versions of it can be found at the CADA. Personal thanks to Professor Jim Fowler on Coursera for his awesome class that I really recommend to any math enthusiast, and for showing me this mathematical curiosity. Something contagious passion. Way cool. Now, that's our first potential victim. Wow, this one has a lot less pain associated with it. Let's try looking at this one. We're going to see if we go with this or this for our short stream tonight before we completely lose our mind. Implement the function unique in order, which takes as argument a sequence and returns a list of items without any elements with the same value next to each other and preserving the original order of the elements. What the What? Hold on. So he's got a stack of A's, a stack of B's, a couple C's, a D, some more A's, and a couple stray B's there at the end. So he wants no duplicates and everyone still in the same order. So A, B, B, capital C, lowercase c, A, D. Capitals and lowercases are treated separately. So this would be a regular expression again, or function similarly to that. No I to ignore the case. But we are getting rid of repeat values. We saw a bitchin', it was something last night. Trim! It was trim. I remembered it. We'll need to Google to just to brush up on that. But I think I'm... You know what? I was going to say 80% sure. That's not accurate at all. I'm like 27% sure trim is what we want to use with our regular expression and or any other method we use to get the solution. I think we're going to go with this. With our limited time that we have left, there was a lot of yammering. This was a lot of stuff. We're going to worry about that another day. This actually may be harder, but it seems to be more concise, so we're diving into it. Okay, go time. Unique order function, iterable. Iterable is our parameter. And just out of curiosity, let's see how Robot Voice pronounces this. Mr. Speak and Spell, if you will. Speech, starting. Yep, no, iterable. So, robot voice on our computer speaks English, apparently, not Italian. That's what we deduced. That is our moral of day 220, day 234. Yeah, good. So let's do something. Oh God, variable. Do we want to do a variable expression? Do I want to be that guy? There's a lot of room for error. We aren't comfortable with variable or with regular expressions. We should be. We should work on them. I just don't know if now's the time to do that. We should do it. We should do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I think we can still use trim. Value of something. You know, there's also another method. I think it's index of, where it returns the first instance of a character. Damn, that's not going to work because B and A is split over multiple areas. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do a regular expression. All right, go time. Let's see. JavaScript, regular expression, trim? How's that feel? Let's find out where this rabbit hole leads. What is this thing doing? I agree. What the am I looking at? That's a string prototype. I wonder if there's an array trim. Yeah, that's something that's taken 200 plus days to come to terms with the difference between string methods and array methods. Yeah, it should be obvious, but not when you're completely inept like Steven over here. I was looking for a trim function in JavaScript, which doesn't exist, and some code on Googling suggests to use trim string, string.replace. Is that what it was? Replace? Yeah, that doesn't sound right. String.replace blankety blankety blank. So, cool. Plain English. You know what? Let's just bring up MDN and see what they have to offer. I think that would... Oh, look at this. It was the second string. Or the second link. The trim method removes white space from both ends of a string. White space is, in this context, is all white space characters. Space tab, no break space. Maybe trim isn't what we wanted. You know what it was? It's because yesterday, when we removed whatever the hell it was, the wubs from that dubstep Kata, yeah, the wub. Anyways, there were multiple wubs, one after another, and when we removed, I think we did like slice or something to remove the wubs, there were multiple undefined, like empty sets of quotes, elements in our array. And I think the trim/replace was to get rid of those empty excess spaces. I thought it was for getting rid of. I jumped the gun. We didn't look and see what specifically it did. So I assumed it was trimming the repeat wubs, but no, it was clearing the empty spaces. So we want, first of all, we want array prototypes. From the top, JavaScript, MDN, something. All right, let's break it down like we did yesterday. Yesterday went rather well. It took a little while, but we eventually got there. I think we might be able to speed up the process. In fact, we could probably use a majority of yesterday's code in this guy. Close that. We have a string, and he wants, or she, whoever made this, Antrianus, cool, Antrianus wants us to return the individual first occurrence non-repeat noise. So we will need to, first of all, split everything. So that's not too difficult. Variable. Irritable. You know what we're going to do at basic? String array. Yeah. String array. Nice and straightforward. String array equals copy irritable dot split little cat. Is it split? I think it is. That's what we that seems like what we did yesterday. Can you do return string array really quick? Return string array. Yarg, matey. I don't know why we're thinking of pirates. Okay, and it does in fact break everything up onto itself. Let's do split at, let's split it at the C's. Just the capital C. Let's do split on capital C. Run sample. Yeah, expected A, C, D, A, B. Instead it got A with no C and, wow, no capital C or lowercase c. And here, no capital C or lowercase c. That's interesting. This doesn't, it's not case sensitive. At least it doesn't seem to be case sensitive. I figured it would have kept the little c. And also let's do 2 for good measure. Just to make sure we're not completely insane. Shouldn't have there been a 2 returned at some point? I suppose that's okay. Not critical. Not critical. Split every character. So now that we have that, we need to iterate through the loop. For variable I equals 0. I always feel like I'm doing the same for loop premise each time. Is that weird 234 days in? I can't tell if that's a sign of you end up solving a lot of problems the same way, or if it's a sign that I'm either not growing my tool set, skill set, knowledge base of other ways I could solve it, or as sort of a third part 2 to the second point of growth, if I'm just becoming more comfortable with those particular tools, and then I'll advance from there. It's probably a combination of all 3. I was just trying to figure out where the hell I stand on that. For variable I is less than something about iterable.length and I plus plus. Yeah, like that for loop, variable I equals I less than whatever the main parameter is, dot length, I plus plus, like, this was the main for loop that I learned at Code Academy. This is what they introduced for loops with, and I've probably used this for like 80 to 90% of all the for loops I've done, and any loop involved. All that's changed over 80 to 90% is this right here, is the actual parameter. At least that's what it feels like. Fingers crossed it's confidence and comfort growing with that tool set. Get the sneaking suspicion it's not, though. For variable I equals 0. Then we ended up with an if statement, followed by a parenthesis of sorts, with more curly braces on the inside to eventually variable, string variable, what do we want to call it? New string? New string. That doesn't sound good. Well, it's not really a new string, it's a new array. Yeah, new array equals an empty array with semicolon. And from here, if something, if iterable I, is that right? No, it's if string array, my bad, if string array, good catch, I, if string array I is something. Damn. If string array I is something, if it doesn't equal blah, then we want it to new array dot push string array I. This is very similar to the code we did yesterday. Like, basically identical. I think, oh, that's our timer for us to throw in the towel, but I feel like we're really close. So we are going to keep forging ahead. I'm sure this should be some basic regular expression. Like yesterday, it was like wub dot trim something. It was really simple, really straightforward. But I felt like we were able to better visualize what the hell was actually happening. Sort of the madness inside whatever comprises the regular expression, piece by piece. String array I something. And we should end up doing some method copy string array dot, you know, not trim, but you know what I mean. It'll be like index of or repeat something, replace. Could be replace. It's not replace. That was a dumb idea. Oh, we were, that's exactly what we were looking for. That's why we had a new tab. MDN something array filter method splice. How could we implement splice? Includes. Let's see what they have to offer. What do we want? We want concatenate copy within entries for every instance, fill, find for each index of, join, keys, last index of, mapping, pop, reduce right. Maybe we could do reduce. Shift, slice. I don't think it's slice. To local string. No, that's not right either. Value iterator. We are iterating. Our parameter is literally iterate. Let's see what that one is. What is at iterator? Well, let's find out. The initial value of at iterator property is the same function object as the initial value of the values property. Well, I feel like this is a goose chase, but we'll keep going. The array iterator function, which is the values function by default, iteration using for of loop. Array WYKOP array symbol dot iterator. Your browser must support for of loops and let scope variables in for loops. For let letter of ER. So I feel like it is hunting by letter. I have a hunch that is what's probably needed. Whatever next and value is. So maybe value is what we actually want. And perhaps not. We are good at guessing the wrong thing. The values method returns a new array iterator object that contains a value for each index in the array. WYKOP iterator a values something or other. Something or other. I almost want to, like, not necessarily Google the solution, but yeah, kind of Google where to find the solution just to determine what method is used. That way I can then go to the method and read up on it. I don't necessarily need to see how they exactly implement it. I'm looking to speed things up after the crazy day that preceded all of the rest of 234 earlier today. Prime number, I'm mindlessly scrolling right now. All I'm thinking of is about how badly I want to find the solution. So we're going to do exactly that. That way we are at least somewhat useful and still making progress. Implement the function in unique in order. Unique. Unique in order. Is there a unique anywhere? Character at? Oh no, that's, let's close this. Close that. Close that guy. Keep this one. From of copy within. Copy within method. Shallow copies. Yeah, no. I don't believe them. I don't think that's what's actually needed. An unlikely story. ABC. And there's iterations. No. Just gut instinct. Seek and destroy. Find the number. Everyone goes home. Implement the function unique in order, which takes an argument. Take an argument as a sequence and returns a list of items without any elements with the same value next to each other, preserving. Copy. Yeah, this. Let's try that on for size. MD at Python. How do you remove duplicates in a list whilst preserving order? You know what I'm sure this would be helpful with? Oh, you know what? No, because there probably isn't repeats in the sense of, well, unless there was a mutation. But I was thinking of, like, gene sequencing. Trying to find, you know, the 4 and any repeats or anomalies or whatever they do. Sifting through hilarious amounts of data. Alright, implement function blankety blankety blank. My solution. He spelled it out like I did. Variable function. Oh, he just started with an if loop. If length equals 0, return nothing. You know what? They did mention that in the beginning. They really did. That didn't. All that did was fix our issue. I thought they mentioned that somewhere. Implement the function unique in order which takes an argument without blank. Unique stuff. I could have sworn we saw. You know what? It must have been one of those first tabs that we had open, where when we were reading through their little anecdotal instruction question, they said if you run into emptiness, just return the noise. So, anywho, so variable iterable 0. It's starting at the beginning. If type of iterable is a string, iterable equals iterable dot split. Reduce. That's what it is. Aha. Let's look for reduce. Regular expression dot reduce. That would have solved all of our issues. Every is big enough. Oh, that would have been looking for a mass. All of them. Find, not quite. For each. Do we even have reduce in our potential? We did have reduce. Look at that. That was in the middle of our 35 guesses as we close out the rest of these. Look at that. You know? How many guesses does it take to get it right? Apparently 14 or more. Alright. Reduce. As a refresher, I'm pretty sure there's a comparison that's happening. See, I know there's 2 parameters involved. The reduce, oh god. Fur. Bad. Little kitty. You can see you standing in the dark over there. She is in this direction. Ugh. That is just... Did we get it? Oh my god, we got it. It is like a 1.5 long piece of fur. Look at you. Oh my god. Covered in nonsense. Look at how floppy your ears are. Hey, no touching anything. Alright, look, we found what we need to help little cat. Just go. We're so close. We're so very close. We're just trying to come to terms with our refresher of reduce. Hey, I'm talking to you. Little kitty. No, just go nap. We're almost done. We're so close. We're like moments away from maybe figuring this out. There you go. Hey! Kosi QQ? Was it Kochi? Kosi. Quosi. All I know for sure is that there's the QQ. But, hello again, and how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Oh my god, little cat. You furry abomination. Just go. Look at the whole bed. You have the whole bed to go be a cat elsewhere. Let's move the mic slightly back into play. We are so close. So very, very close. All right. We are simply... Yeah, good. That's cool. So, no, not there. Reduce. Yes, from the top. The reduce method applies a function against an accumulator in each element in the array from left to right. To reduce it to a single value, variable total 0 to 3 dot reduce sum and value. Sum plus value. There's that optional number. Total is 6. 3, 2, 1, blah, blah, blah. You know what? We're probably going to end up using reduce for that other CODA we saw before earlier. The Fibonacci? Fibonacci. One of those. Variable. Flattened. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reduce function A, B. A, concatenate, B. And it all ties together. Flattened. Nice. So, parameters. There's the callback. Function to execute on each element in the array, taking 4 arguments. Accumulator. Accumulates the callback return value. Current value. The current element being processed in the array. And then the current index is the index of the current element being processed in the array. Starts at 0 if the initial value is blanky blank. Array reduces. Initial value. Option. Description. So it's current value and something. I'm sure they've got to have one that matches up with what we're looking for. I think sum all the values. Alternatively, flatten counting instances. Oh, okay, so it is COSI. Way cool. But QQ is not necessary to pronounce. Okay, that's my favorite part. Not enough usernames utilize Q, and you've got 2 of them. Might as well, rub that in people's faces. Not that we have to do that, but, you've got Q's to spare. Okay, here we go. So we were down the rabbit hole. We were going down. It was reduce previous versus current. And they were saying if previous does not equal current, push the current. So that's very, very similar to... Okay, so the only difference is I would put this on the line below. I don't know if I would actually do return current here. Although I'm doing a for loop. You know what? We don't need a for loop because reduce eliminates the need for the for loop. Look at that. So see, we're taking... There's the repeats of A, the repeats of B, the repeats of C, so forth, and then repeats of A and B again. We're trying to identify their exact order, but without the duplicates. So A, B, C, D, A, B. Now, the reduce method will filter through everything, so we don't actually need our for loop. We can just do our if loop, and reduce will circle through for us. Although I'm kind of happy with our for loop. Is there a way to keep the current for loop and just push it through? It would be... No, it's just really redundant. Because here, I was going to do string I dot reduce, and then it's still, yeah, we don't need the for loop. We don't need the for loop. Just come to terms with it. The for loop can die, which means we don't need to worry about not returning stuff, which means we don't necessarily, no, we'll keep the push. We'll keep the push for now. And everything else is good. We're splitting things. We will be storing stuff in variable new array. And if we don't necessarily need the I, reduce, now, is reduce an array function or string? I wonder if there's a string version. You know what, to answer that, where is he pushing it to an array? Yeah, he's pushing it to an array. Okay. Cool. We're fine. We're good. We survived. We survived. String.reduce. Well, hold on. Let me do a new if. This... What fresh hell is this? If string array current? How do I tell it that? I want to do... string, well, we can look at m again. So the whole array dot reduce. So really, that's the thing. Okay, so it's working on arrays. So we start with a string, we're splitting it into an array. That's what we're doing here. And then we are just doing dot reduce on the array. So that's okay. We're good. I thought I missed a step. Then we're going to do some previous and current. Previous and current, I think. God, I hope so. Previous and current. Which would happen first. Up here. String array dot reduce. This is slowly starting to feel better. And this can be a variable. Aha. Variable new array. I think that makes a little more sense. Function. Yeah, you know what? Definitely. Definitely. Because... Don't mind me. Just piecing the nightmare together as I see fit. Here, ta-da, variable equals all this noise. And on the inside of it is where we can place our if statement, like so. If something or other. This is where we can do the previous... Do we want to do previous and current? Previous and current, or A and B. I kind of want to do A and B. But I feel like I should stick with previous and current. We'll do previous and current for now. That may be a better visual. I think A and B is a little more general, could be applied to more, not more, different issues that might require the same solution. If previous does not equal current something, then return no, we're pushing. So this won't be anything. Maybe that doesn't even need to be a variable. I don't even think that needs to be a variable. We can tell it to just, it does stuff, and then here it will push. New array push string cut. Instead of our for loop, it will push current. Let's clean this up a bit, shall we? I think we would just do new array at that point. I don't think we really need anything else all that fancy. Reduce should take care of most of the heavy lifting with this new thing. Okay, super death, but something about something. I must have missed a step. My logic is slightly off. New array dot push current previous does not equal current. If blank blank return blank. He did a for loop. We should have kept our for loop. Result last. I0, I dot length. We had that exact. If I does not equal last, is last a keyword? Friendwise solution. Filter. We were freakishly close to this. We had our two variables. We had our for loop and our if. And we were pushing. And we'd return that. Maybe we should go back to what we had, because this is extremely similar to what we had previously. Version 2, unique iterable. If array is array iterable, iterable.join, iterable length does not equal 0. See that regular expression nonsense. Yeah, we're not parse inting anything. No. Let's see if that also... That changes our luck, that first bit. I don't think it's needed. Yeah, no, super death. So don't mind me. We're just gonna do quite a bit of restructuring as we piece back our nightmare that we had moments before impact. Here we go, here we go, here we go. There's a for loop involved. Nice. Okay. This is where we were. This is where we want to be. So, actually, I think string I. Don't mind me, don't mind me. We are looking for good times, good times. Okay, back in action, texty issues. So, can we redo paste this? So what is fundamentally different between our answer and their answer? Function, this guy, function irritable, not irritable, iterable. Clearly, we're on edge. Variable result is an empty set, so that will be variable new array for us. We are splitting our string up into something. Something about something. Variable string. So we're splitting it. I just want to make sure that there's no major difference. I don't really see any major difference aside from the fact that they're just iterating through their string and then simply returning, pushing those items from the string into an array. Here we're just converting it into an array first and then proceeding business as usual. So string array I would be not... See, it's the last thing. I don't get where the last is coming from. I don't get what that... Oh, it's the last variable. Wait, hold on. Result? So that's unique. Result will be storing stuff. Last, theoretically, has the capacity to store stuff. For variable I, so it's starting at the 0, starting at the beginning of the string, like so. Ta-da, well, technically, ta-da. Less than it will stop. If it I does not equal last, how do we determine what the hell last is? Push. Last equals IT. We'll try it. Does not equal where the hell last is. Well, I feel like we could call it anything. Just seems messy. Last. How the hell could it equal last? We're not telling it what last equals. Push. Oh, it's cycling on it. It cycles in and on itself. Okay, okay. So, look at this. Because of the for loop, I get it now. Last is a placeholder of sorts. So, it's a secondary. It's instead of having your main workbench, it's like having a little side desk to set something on, or I don't know. It's just, or it's like having a bin on your workbench to place something in while your hands are free to do other stuff. So we've got our for loop. We take the string they give us of noise, iterable. We are splitting that apart at each character element, turning that into an array, and then for that array, which is string array, we are looping through item by item, or index by index, and then from there, we've got our if statement. If that current letter doesn't equal what's in last, then we will go ahead and push through, but we're also going to have last equals that current letter we're looking at. So we're doing two things at once. We are comparing it, and we're also pushing it through to last. So we're updating. So we're pushing that info, and we're updating last. Two things are happening at once. That's what's going on. Couldn't figure it out. I was trying to read it one by one, and I was like, what the f is this? Not the case. Not to worry. Let's first block this noise out. Run. We may have a little more to do. Let's do a semicolon just for good measure. Ta-da! Be-diddy-dee-dee-dee. Very cool. Look at that. And again, we made it like 94% of the way. 86. We made it 86% of the way through. But it was that last little bit, just the logic of the if and what's being dealt with. That's clever, doing the two things at once. I mean, yes, they are happening one after another, but it's kind of reading off. There's two things that are occurring very closely to each other as it loops through continuously. So, yeah, way cool. Awesome. Good times. Good times. Let's go ahead and submit this as our final. Oh god, something tragic occurred. Super death. Don't mind me. We're gonna figure that out. Okay. What, tag, don't mind me. Good. Awesome. Okay. Back to the task at hand. I think it's that 0 issue. If it returns 0, should work with empty arrays, check. Should work with one element, check. Should reduce duplicates, which it does. And treat lower cases as different from upper cases, cool. And work with integer arrays and character arrays. You know what? That's why they didn't have, I believe, the split. So I don't think that's why they had a split. Let's comment out this. And let's just take iterable and throw it right in there. Iterable. 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 And once more from the top, run the sample test. There we go. Aha! 1, 2, and 3, followed by A and B. Alright, so we didn't need our variable iterable split there. That explains why they only had 2 in their example. 2 variables. The variable containing so forth and such, the space for the new array to be pushed to, and the current variable to verify against. Awesome. So, with that said and done, attempt yet again. Green across the board. Submit final. Let's see what the cool kids had to suggest for their answers. And we can close out of this noise. Hey, look at that. Damn near similar to, well, actually, yeah, that's literally exactly what happened. I wonder why they did a for loop like that. I mean, we know that there could have been the regular expression. We saw it. I wonder why the regular expression isn't at the top of the list. Usually all the cool kids do their one-liner with their parse inting and whatever is going on. Well, holy hell. I mean, I suppose eventually we could have stumbled across the setting up the last. But that's fascinating. Again, we made it like, I think 86% is reasonable. We at least made it that far on our own. It was really verifying what the hell gets pushed where and what we're setting up for a condition. That's so interesting. So result pushes I and it makes last equal that. That is so cool that both happen. That is just awesome. Anyways, good times. Let's go ahead and close out of this. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. Today we had Topher and Kosi, and to anyone else who stopped by to view the stream, whether they stumbled in here accidentally. Once again, any and all views, greatly, greatly appreciated. So far, day 234, we are now at 29% of the way through. Level 6 here at CODEWARS, and 53,000. Awesome. Hey, total completed CADAs, 35. And we've struggled with damn near every single one of them. Probably not a good sign. In the meantime, we are backing out of here. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 235 of the Year of Stream and Learn Code. But in the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah, kill it!